EASports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. From the Monterey Peninsula, live opening round coverage of the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am. Blue skies on top of blue waters, right next to one of the prettiest pieces of green grass on this good earth, as we check out the leaderboard here in round one. Scott Stallings is on top. He's off to a 4-under start. Meanwhile, our featured golfer looking to get off to a hot start and maybe make an early move up the AM leaderboard. So many great golf courses here on the Monterey Peninsula. We're at Pebble Beach for this, the third tournament on the PGA Tour schedule this year. And Frank, we look at the golfer we're going to be following. Rookie on this tour, still looking to play the weekend for the first time after 2 missed cuts. Is there a danger of getting too discouraged early on?
There certainly is, and I think that's exactly where the player feels right now. If all of a sudden it's 3 in a row, you start to think, have I made the right decision? But I remember a line from the late, great Arnold Palmer. He said, this game is 90% mental, and the other 10%, well, that's mental as well.
Second shot coming up, and we say hello to Iona Stephen.
It's just a flick left in. She's left herself with 124 yards to the hole, pin smack bang in the middle.
Needed maybe half a club more there. As it is, needs to get up and down to save par. Ten-foot putt left. Kidding? This game's unfair sometimes. That looked in the whole way. All right, that's in for a bogey here to start the round. And that's going to drop her down to 1 over. Frank, this whole area of the country, Monterey, Carmel, 17-mile drive, just such a stunning setting for golf. We're just taking a nice drive with the emerald green fairway set against the ocean blue. It's just ideal. But talk to me about playing the course, Pebble Beach. What should a young golfer like this keep in mind when teeing it up for the first time as a professional?
Rich, it's the polar opposite of the drive-in, where you decompress and look at the views. Because once you get onto that first tee at Pebble, it's a wonderful golf course designed by Jack Neville. You're going to realize that no 2 holes look the same. I mean, that's stating the obvious there. But side hill lies when you play towards the Pacific. And then you sort of beat your way around the golf course. The beautiful downhill par 3 7th. I know it's talked about and it's photographed, but that's where you start scratching your head and like, do I have the right club? And that's a feeling you get at Pebble so often around this golf course. But I mentioned 7, so I've got to mention 8, 9, and 10. In my opinion, they're the 3 best par 4s in a row in any golf course I've ever seen. I mean, they're beautiful driving holes and iron play, but Pebble's about the experience, but it's also about the legacy that this golf course has for America. So to compete at Pebble is one thing. To play well at Pebble, well, that's another thing as well.
Well, that one had to feel good.
Yeah, struck it so well. You could see that by the reaction of that ball when it hit the green. Landed so softly.
Just going to sneak on by. Okay, no problems there. Finishing off a birdie at number 2. Well, Frank, here we are at the third. Severe dog leg left, and I'm just curious how much of that dog leg the big hitters might think about chewing off.
Rich, the game has changed so much. If there's a hint of a breeze behind, I mean, really, have a crack at it with a driver. It's about 350 yards, really, to the front edge of the green. But if not, you've got to negotiate those 3 bunkers on the right side. And depending on what club you want to have to head off the tee, decide which one of those bunkers you want to aim at.
Second shot now from just a foot or 2 off the fairway. Gonna have to try and give this a good thump to fly it to the hole. Well, gonna get a chance to try that again. Gotta fully commit to this one as he'll try again. That is such a tough bunker to try and navigate. That's onto the green, but still a tricky distance coming up. Good putt there. It's a bogey 5 here at the par 4. And she's going to fall here to +1. Well, this is where Pebble Beach starts to look like Pebble Beach in all its glory and magnificent beauty. It's only 333 yards. Off the tee, you can hit driver, maybe make an eagle, knock it up on the green. We have seen guys do that. Or you can play it safe, long iron off the tee. Either way, you're thinking 3 at 4. Beautiful tempo to that swing, and this is going to wind up squarely in the fairway. Second shot coming up. Let's check in for the first time with Notobegay III.
Aggressive play off the tee pays off, ball sitting nicely in the fairway, and a very good chance to get it in tight.
And that's going to leave some work, but it'll end up okay. This will be a 14-foot putt here. The pace, absolutely perfect there. Down the slope, it's in for a birdie. So here we are, Frank, the 5th hole, the first of the 4 par 3s at Pebble Beach. It doesn't get all the love that some of the others do, but this one has the players' attention. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, it certainly does, Rich. Everybody wants to take a picture, down by the 7th, 17th hole, famous par 3. Remember, Jack Nicklaus is 1 on, but believe me, I think this hole is every bit as tough as 17.
And that one not on the green, but not in a terrible spot either. Sitting up in the short grass. Looking now at her second to this par 3. Okay, that one brushed in for bogey here at the 5th. And that will not help the cause. Well, this is where the excitement starts to build early in a round at Pebble Beach. I know it's the 6th, but you're coming into possibly one of the greatest stretches in all of golf. This is a 498-yard par 5, goes up the hill, Pacific Ocean in the distance, chance to make an eagle here, and chance to feel really good about where you're headed. Wayward from the tee, and this one is headed for the rough, Frank.
Second shot from the rough at the par 5 6th hole. You cannot help but think about what Tiger Woods did here in 2000 on his way to winning the U.S. Open. It was one of the greatest shots in the history of the sport. 7-iron from about 200 yards, thick rough. He just lashed at it, muscled it up the hill, and Roger Maltby, the announcer, said, "It's just not a fair fight." He was right.
It is one of the more satisfying shots in golf, isn't it? Downwind to a par 5, the second, and you knock it on. Chance for eagle.
Certainly shortens up the par 5, that wind at your back, Rich, but you can just surf the wind. Just let that ball carry and just sail towards the green.
Oh, yeah. That's how you take advantage of a par 5. It's in for an eagle 3. Superb.
Frank, there are certain spots in sport that kind of steal your breath. Starters gate at the Kentucky Derby, home plate at Fenway Park, maybe top of the hill if you ski at Kitzbühel, 7th tee at Pebble Beach. Absolutely is one of those special places.
Just over 100 yards, Rich. It's the ultimate, piece of cake where that's what it looks like, but then you try and taste it and you want a little more, and then you realize you're just bitten off more than you can chew.
All right, you take those all day long. On the green, chance for birdie coming up. A birdie putt down to Iona.
Yeah, this one's a little bit downhill overall, with a break from left to right to consider also.
Oh, wow, that is some kind of putt. Perfect speed, perfect line. It's in for a birdie. Now to one of the most picturesque par 4s in the world, the 8th hole here at Pebble Beach. Jack Nicklaus, who won the U.S. Open here, called it simply the greatest second shot to a par 4 anywhere in the world. issues there. Good tee shot in the short grass. From the fairway, we check in with Noda.
Beautiful tee shot, great position looking at this green, and there are no easy options here. You got bunkers up the left, bunkers on the right. You have balls that are going to find their way into the penalty area. Requires precision execution.
Well, had a good look at the green, but couldn't cash it in. In the rough now, wondering what might have been. Okay, that in for par here at the 8th, and she'll remain at 2 under. '19 U.S. Open number 9 was the hardest hole on the golf course. Frank, give yourself certainly a good crack at 4 by hitting the fairway.
And that's all you wanted to do in 2019. It's fine to say all too, but having to hit the left side of this fairway just to keep it in play, and then once again hit into, I know we say this a lot here, but a very narrow green and a very small green, but this time with a long club.
From the fairway, let's go to Noda.
Well, when you find your ball in the fairway at the 9th, you hit a great tee shot, one of the most difficult fairways to hit on the entire golf course, but now it opens up the opportunity to hit a great second.
A 17-foot putt here. Got it there, but not quite on target. Okay, a shake of the head as that one is finished off. And she'll fall back down to 1 under. Starting the backside with a 444-yard par 4 10th, the last in this stretch along Carmel Bay, offering the widest fairway at Pebble, feeding left to right toward the water. Just what you want at this point in the round. You're trying to find a rhythm, hit fairways, hit the middle of the club face. That's what they did right there. Second shot, good look at the green. Miss hit, wrong club. What happened there, Frank?
All of the above, maybe. It's a little bit of a head scratcher. It wasn't that hard a shot.
ones can jump up and get you sometimes. Okay, that one in for a bogey here at 10. And that's going to drop her back down to even par.
Well, this is where Pebble Beach changes significantly. We're going away from the Pacific Ocean now, up the hill toward the forest. Frank, what do you think of the 11th hole?
It's tricky, Rich. Number one, because it's blind, as you've detailed, but uphill and it's sea level, so that tee shot's not going to go that far. There is a run out down that left side, just inside the tree line there. That's about 308 yards, but you're not going to go that far. So really, you have to respect this hole. Just hit a fairway finder.
This one working up the right side. This is going to try and stay on the fairway, and I believe it will, up along the right edge, but a good shot. From the fairway, Noda, her second coming up.
It's about 97 yards to the front, 109 to the hole, coming off a bogey on the previous hole. Got to get it back here.
That's a head scratcher. That approach shot from relatively close in. I would have been looking at 10 to 15 feet.
This one's going to need to carry some pace with it. A long one for birdie. Back up the slope. How about the speed here? Are you kidding? That is exceptional from that distance. That is worth a wow. So that brushed in for par here at 11, and she'll remain at even par. And now we arrive at the 202-yard par 3 12. Best to work the ball right to left, landing as softly as possible on one of the firmest greens at Pebble Beach. Certainly had enough power, just didn't have any touch. That one safely in. It's a par here at 12. And she's going to hold on here at even par.
Frank, the 13th hole doesn't get as much fanfare as some of the more picturesque par 4s here at Pebble Beach. Just curious, what do you think of this 13th hole?
I think it's a good hole, Rich, because it rewards you. You can certainly make three here. I remember when Tony Jacklin actually made an eagle here, but it's very easy to mess up. Purely because they added those three bunkers in on the right side that start at 260 yards and finish at just over 290 yards. What that has done to this hole is actually shrunk the fairway to just 35 yards wide.
Yeah, good swing and a good result, as that is safely into the fairway. After a good tee shot, Iona, this, her second.
Yeah, she's got a little under 130 left, probably 129 to the hole. And that wind, it's coming from right to left, so you might need to start this a little bit to the right-hand side.
That's got to be disappointing. Good lie in the fairway, and the approach winds up in the bunker. Gonna have to give this a pretty good thump. Boy, that was on an aggressive line. Couldn't quite get it to stop, and that will be left for par. Nope, couldn't get that one on target. Okay, that one finished off. It is a bogey here at unlucky number 13. And that will not help the cause. We arrive now at the 582-yard par 5 14th. It is one of the hardest holes on the PGA Tour, year in, year out. This is a bear. That's up in the wind, maybe drifting a little left. So that sets up a tougher second shot, missing the fairway with the drive, now in the rough. And that's where you need to be, back into the fairway on this par 5.
Frank, it's just a short shot here, this third to the par 5 14th. What makes it so daunting?
Well, you look at the size of the green, Rich, and you would think it's a pretty big target, but then look closely. The flat area on the green, I've got to say, is really 4 yards by 4 yards. And that's it. If you go beyond that, you're in trouble. So you have to be so precise. And on top of that, you can't see the bottom of the flag. You're going a little bit uphill, so there's a little bit of doubt. It's tough shot.
Oh man, it looked good initially, but rolled off the green and back into the fairway. That stings.
Lovely pitch shot. Just nipped that ball off the turf. Just flew through the air beautifully. Sat down fairly quick as well. Good shot.
Might have overread it just a bit, and it stayed out wide left of the hole. Safely in. It's a bogey here at 14. And she'll fall now to 2 over par.
Here at the 15th, a good drive, Frank, would be right down the middle. A bad drive would be on 17-mile drive. As scenic as it is, it's not where you want to be, is it? It's out of bounds.
Well, you can't afford to go right. You can't afford to pay for that real estate on the right either. So, yeah, anything down there. And fortunately, it's a downhill tee shot. I know there's sort of 4 bunkers really down the left side, but really it's the pop bunker that has to be avoided. Well, that one's finished in the first cut. It's going to be a little bit harder to spin it from there with a little bit of grass around the ball, but still not too bad.
Second shot now from just a foot or two off the fairway.
Well, too bad, Frank. That one rolled right off the green.
It was just coming out so hot.
Yes, the touch. Excellent effort behind the green, and that one goes down for an unlikely birdie. Now the heart begins to race a little bit because you know you're playing one of the greatest finishing stretches in the entire sport of golf. Starting with a 16th, it's only 400 yards. If you can carry that island bunker, you can jumpstart your run to the house with a birdie 3.
Yeah, it might be in the rough, but that was absolutely crushed.
They need to recheck the yardage after that one. That's on the green, but not a real good shot. 3 putts, a definite possibility here. This is a long look for birdie. This from 7 feet. Got that up too high, and it didn't want to come back. Okay, that in for a bogey at 16. That will not help the cause.
Well, here we are, 17th hole, and this is where you can make your mark on the sport. Frank, so much history at this par 3.
It's just a great hole too, Rich. You know, that hourglass-shaped green on the angle. But you're right when you talk about history. You go back to 1972, and this hole played into the breeze. It was a 1-iron for Jack Nicklaus. He said one of the greatest shots he ever hit. Actually hit the flagstick, nearly went in. And of course, one of my favorites is 1982. Tom Watson had missed this green to the left, and the late Bruce Edwards was his caddy. And they were looking for options because they were in such a perilous situation with the US Open on the line. And Watson said, well, what about if I just hole it? And if you look really closely at the footage, as Watson starts to run across the green, he's pointing his finger back at Bruce and saying, I told you so. And then just a few years ago too, Gary Woodland, he had to chip it on this green and made 3.
Now from the bunker.
Just a little splash out on this par 3.
Okay, that should be inside of 10 feet, not too bad. That's going to slide on by. That one finished off for bogey here at 17. And she'll drop to 3 over. Well, you're not just playing the 18th hole at Pebble Beach, are you? You're taking a moment to soak it all in. Stand on that tee box, look out at the Pacific Ocean, think about what's happened here, who's played this hole, who's made history here, and then you let it rip. Nothing to fault there, safely in the fairway. Really hit that second shot on the button to this par 5, but Frank couldn't get it to stop.
Yeah, too good, too long, sadly.
The putter has not been at its best, but this is a good look for birdie. Yeah, it's a birdie at the last. And that will be an opening round, 74. For the golfer we had our eye on, no other way to say it, Frank, just not a real good day out there.
It could be a short week, Rich. We can complain about the conditions and that, but look at the leaderboard. The rest of the field, they didn't have a problem.
So for Frank Nobilo, notably gave the third, Iona Stephen, and a cast of hundreds, I'm Rich Lerner. You've been watching PGA Tour Golf on EA Sports. So long, everyone.